The girl was still unconscious, but her body had begun to slide downward. Below her was a 10,000-meter drop. If she fell from that height, there would be nothing left of her. She sensed something was wrong and snapped awake in an instant, but it was already too late. Her body tumbled freely toward the endless void. Then something unexpected happened. She slowly opened her eyes, her pupils dilated, and she jerked upright, grabbing the rope with all her strength. Her heart pounded wildly in her chest. She was still in the sky, thousands of meters up, and the only thing keeping her from falling was the rope in front of her. She tried to call out to the man, but he was curled up silently in the basket. She kicked her legs furiously, trying to swing back toward the basket. After struggling for what felt like forever, she finally got close. With every ounce of strength, she pushed off with one foot. Her body shot outward, but she caught the rope again using her momentum. She fixed her eyes on the man in the corner, pulled herself up, and climbed into the basket. Before she could even catch her breath, she crawled over to him, calling his name over and over again. There was no response. She inched closer and realized he had no heartbeat. Just as she was about to give in to despair, the man suddenly woke up. He looked at her battered and bloodied hands, then glanced up at the now stabilized balloon. He understood right away. She had climbed all the way to the top and shut off the valve. The two of them, grateful to be alive, began excitedly talking about the future. But it wasn't long before something strange caught their eye. The snowflakes that had been falling suddenly froze in midair, then slowly began floating upward like they were under some sort of spell. That's when the girl realized it wasn't the snow. The balloon was falling too fast. It had caught up to the snowflakes that were supposed to be falling. At this speed, they were going to crash and be crushed to pieces. She shouted at the man to start throwing things out. Sandbags, ropes, everything had to go. Lives were at stake, and nothing was too important to keep. Even their heavy jackets were tossed over the side, but the balloon only fell faster. The basket was nearly empty. The ground was approaching at a terrifying speed. The man told her to climb up onto the metal ring. He followed with a knife in hand. His plan was to cut off the basket, the heaviest part, and hope that would slow them down. His hands worked faster and faster, slicing through the ropes one by one. As the last two ropes remained, the ground grew even closer. His panic intensified. One misstep nearly sent them both falling. Finally, the last rope was cut, and the balloon started to slow. But the girl, with more experience, knew it still wasn't enough. The fall was still too fast. There was no way they would survive hitting the ground. In silence, she stepped onto the edge of the metal ring. She had made up her mind. If her life could buy the man a chance to live, it would be worth it. He screamed for her to stop, completely breaking down, but she had already decided. At the last second, he glanced up at the balloon and had a flash of inspiration. There was no time to explain. While she was distracted, he grabbed the rope securing the top of the balloon and slashed it. In that instant, the balloon transformed into a massive parachute and began to float down slowly. The two of them were overwhelmed with emotion. They hadn't even had time to celebrate when a new crisis appeared. But this time, they weren't afraid. Holding tightly to each other's hand, they dove toward the forest with courage in their hearts. No one knows how much time passed, but eventually, they woke up. Leaning on each other for support, they began walking toward home.